Okay. Good evening, everybody. We'll call this public hearing to order. We're here to receive public comment on a state of Maine liquor license application and special amusement permit application, each submitted by Lee Johnson from the Bucket. We're open to public comment.
I'm just and nobody can hear us.
Oh, okay. The reason I'm here, I'm Paula Sullivan. I'm a Nick Bucket, and the concern I have lately is the floodlights that are at the Bucket. They go right into my yard and into my bedroom window. And I tried to get used to it. And I just said, well, if there's something that could be done, if they could be lowered or turned or something, just so that I don't have lights all night long, they stay on all night. And it just bugs me. So I wondered if there was something that could be done. That's my concern.
Yeah. Is this something that you and Lee had a discussion about previously? Or
Well,
is this the first time?
Well, I mentioned it to Lee just because when they went in, I didn't know if they were motion sensitive, if they would shut off, like if there was nobody around, but doesn't seem to be the case. You were having a problem with one of them.
The one that's been there for a while, or it was the one I put up recently. It was the one that's been there all along.
There's two.
Yeah, the one I put up recently, you said, in the fall.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make sure I try to get them both.
I don't know if you could
Turn them or lower them or something.
You know, if you aim them, they're right at the ground. How come all you at the ground?
And I knew you said you had a problem reaching them because one of the lights was out. So I didn't know if there
Well,
was.
problem with the sensor so high in the air, see the ground. You know what I mean? So if you leave it on sensor, somebody walking by it, doesn't, you know, it's just the sensor should be close. On one note, turn them closer to the ground, so they aim right at the ground more, and I'll come over and talk to you, if that ain't, then I'll have to show they shut off.
Well, that's nice.
Much appreciated, Lee. Thank you. Hey, my name is Diane Jaselskis. I'm here tonight to express concern over the number of events, the timing of the events, how late they go into the evening. I sent all of you an email earlier in June expressing my concerns. And I just wanted to show up tonight to make sure it was a formal process and that you recognize that over the last few years, we've gone from the original request of 3 events to it was more than 15 last year. And then when we received the notification this year of the edits, I was just a little confused. I'm not sure if Lee is asking for 4 events on last year's application, or if he's asking for all of the events listed in the 2024 schedule with just changes to those 4 events. So if you could clarify that, that would be super helpful.
Is your concern specifically with outdoor events, or is it both outdoor and indoor events?
I would say the outdoor events are more impactful by far to our neighborhood, but the indoor events, there was a clause in there that said if there was inside music, the doors needed to be closed. We can hear the inside music outside, so I'm not sure if it's a matter of closing the doors or maybe better sound protection inside. I'm not sure, but we do hear inside and outside, but it's definitely disruptive to our neighborhood for the outside live events.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct in understanding that the 4 events outlined in the permit application are the only events that they do not build off of or change the events approved previously last year?
Yes, this last year's event, I don't have last year.
Right, and you're not asking for those.
Okay, this is what I would want for the rest of this year's permit. Next spring, I'll put a permit in early.
Mhm.
For the whole summer. What happened is, I think all coronavirus happened, put all my paperwork in August. I used to have to do these. So usually we'd be here first in the spring, or in time. Next year I'll do it first and no, it doesn't.
Okay,
I don't know what she's talking about 15 events. Did not do 15 events at all. She's talking about fundraisers I do. This doesn't cover that at all. Nothing in here covers something.
Mhm.
Music and all of it.
So how many music events do you anticipate between now and,
When I do the
Next
permit,
spring.
I'll do it early next year, all done in the spring next year. I'll get it done early so the town has it the whole summer. It's right there on that. That's what I expect to do for the rest of the year.
Mhm.
Now, if somebody comes with me and says they want to do it outside, why am I paperwork and everybody's followed all along? If I give you 72 hours, I can still do another event.
Mhm.
That's, but.
so
I mean, it's
one
four
step
right
at,
there.
one step at a time, and I'm not trying to challenge you in any way, I'm just trying to understand. So as of right now, so the last permit that we did a year ago, that
Mhm.
is expired, is that correct?
That technically would expire on August 15th, 18th, or whatever this month, if you follow.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
the way springtime comes up, you know, I.
That's up and I'm hoping it. Have the, they won't approve it.
But for right now, so my question is from now until next May, I see that it's these 4 outdoor events.
Yeah, and at the inside of them, and that's what, I'm like, before I even home.
Mhm.
All that and it, before I- inside stuff. Everything.
Mhm.
So that stuff shouldn't change at all.
Well, we're here to go over it because there are some people that have some concerns, so in fairness to everybody, like, we have to address those things, and I hear a difference in how
Have you seen
many
it?
music events.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I just took your
There may have been.
there. Nothing else has
Have a
changed.
rough idea how many indoor music events you'll
But
have
here,
between now and next.
And in fact, any of the talks, it's just,
Yeah.
that's why I'm learning that. Why force you vertically, you can try.
Mhm.
Somebody comes to me and wants to play, a really good person, three people. This middle of winter, got 3 customers selling. I'm gonna let one all bring. I'm not gonna have to come here and do more paperwork. That's not an inside too, been there for 8 years that I've been there, 4 more years before that.
Mm.
I didn't. You shouldn't have to rehash any votes there. All we should be worried about is what we're doing for.
But you can understand why everyone has a right to express everyone who lives in Brookfield has a right to express their concerns. I think Cameron's getting.
He's getting his paperwork, I believe. Yeah.
Mhm.
May I also share, the other part of my request was, and I know historically, the times have always been the same until The outdoor events need to end on, there's a whole schedule here, 11:15, 12:15. As a good neighbor, I would like to see those times cut back. And because they are loud and keep us awake, the amount of customers from like 11 o'clock on a Saturday night until midnight, there are very few. So I would also ask the board to consider adjusting or amending the times when the outdoor events would end.
I mean, my only concern that I see in front of me is the August 23rd to 24th, where the 24th is a Sunday. I would hope that the event, and would like to see the event end before 12:15 a.m. on a Sunday night. But save for that, no, it's a nightlife.
For the Sunday morning.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, did you have a comment about that?
Not many of these.
Yeah, no, undoubtedly.
But the 24th is a Sunday.
Okay, so I'm just misunderstanding it as the event will be held on the 23rd and will end at 12:15 a.m. on technically the Sunday. Is that correct?
None of my events ever.
Mhm,
Music is never played at my event.
mhm.
Not once. The reason this is, because the band takes a while. I had it misconstrued for that. I had actually people come to the town
Mhm.
at 11:30 at night, and the band was not playing, but the neighbors said they were.
Mhm,
The town official came and said, no, they're not.
mhm.
And they said at that time, because the people in the parking lot loading that stuff,
Mhm.
I mean, and, if I say it, they're gonna stop right at a certain time, they don't, then we're back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I appreciate the clarification. I was just,
Only certain. My anniversary every year is Saturday.
mhm,
I mean, so only certain time. I go 4 months a year, man. I'm on
mhm, mhm.
the.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm in the restaurant and hospitality business. I know just how slow and painful those winter months are. No, thank you for the clarification. I was reading it as the event could end on, 12:15 a.m. following the 24th, but perhaps I will have Cameron amend the language to specify that that is 12:15 the morning of the 24th and not just after midnight on the 24th. Well, what would technically be the 25th. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 or 11. I don't know what it is. Just an hour and a half, or whatever it is.
Mhm,
That way I don't get no phone calls and that. Yeah.
mhm.
The buffers.
Yeah.
Been there, but I know that was the deep. It's never gone even close to the time.
Mm.
That's. I got a music thing, tells how loud stuff is.
Mhm.
Play in my driveway, by the road, they get outside the road, and the car goes by, and the car going by, it's louder than my music. Okay. I mean, I've been doing it home,
Mm.
and ain't that many nights a year. 365 days a year.
Yes, sir.
My name's Rick Jaselskis, and the cog going by lasts about 10 seconds. The music lasts all night. But besides that, the letter E under number 1E, where they are allowed up to 6 times during their liquor license.
Mhm.
Don't have that section.
That's,
Oh, you
They don't
can-
have copies of the law, I'm gonna go make.
I mean, yeah. I don't need to look at that.
that's 6 more times on top of what's handwritten here,
Mhm.
that he's allowed to have music
Indoor.
till 12:15 in the morning.
Yeah. It says indoor in the permit application.
in the permit application for this year.
It's,
Indoor live entertainment shall be permitted, and then if you skip down to E, between the hours of 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. 6 times during the term of this permit, providing at least 72-hour notice is given.
Right,
It's indoor.
That's indoor.
it's indoor. And the doors are supposed to be closed unless somebody's coming or going.
Mhm.
The back doors are open because they have people out back. We can hear this, we're 1,500 feet away. We cannot drown out the music with the shades, the windows, the AC on and the TV turned up. We can still hear the bass.
Mhm.
I just think that's a little above what's necessary for a neighbor to put up with, and we're 1,500 feet away. I'm not gonna speak for anybody else because that's not my concern.
Mhm.
But our concern is, as Diane has expressed, we like to have our grandchildren over. We like to be able to bring them out in the tent. And that has to happen weekends. And we live in the residential area, we live in Buckfield. We chose not to live in the city where we have to put up with this noise. And I don't think we should have to as much as we do. We put up with the vehicles, which Lee has no concern over. They're loud, they're cranked. I think it's a great place for people to go and have a cold, refreshing beverage and something to eat. It's great to have that in town, but it doesn't have to be a nuisance to the neighborhood.
Mhm.
And I shouldn't have to worry about getting hit by somebody who's coming out of there, probably had a couple too many, wide open, doing 80 miles an hour heading towards Buckfield Village as I pull out of one of my rentals. It's not an asset, but it could be if it was managed well and didn't disrupt the neighborhood. And that's all we've asked for from day one when we first came into this. I mean, I gave up for a couple of years. I was just worn down. I didn't really want to come tonight, but I'm here. It's annoying. It's incredibly annoying. The light, I will echo the light. The light lights up my house. I don't know why it's on all night long. Some nights it's not, and it's pretty refreshing to be able to look out and not have that looking like you're looking into a set of headlights. I don't know. I'm just clearly frustrated with this whole process. So that's all I have to say.
Peter, did you have something? No, you're good.
You have suggestion of a number that you would consider a reasonable number of outdoor events or indoor events? Just, what are your thoughts, your suggestions?
I have more of a suggestion that, stop.
What would you consider a reasonable hour?
I feel 10 o'clock on the weeknight, 11 o'clock on the weekends.
For music?
Yeah, and like Diana said, we look down at, and it clears out. Failure, we just, it's not good for that.
You're okay.
And Lee, you said that you've measured the decibels of the sound, but
Many times,
and-
other professionals.
what's the average reading?
And one thing you just said is, the music on weekend stuff by 11, well, believe it or not, they always have, no matter what you think or say it do, you can chant it. Another thing I was just heard was people burning out of my drive. Well, his family was burned out. Okay. His family was burned out. His driveway, even fire is out the door when they burned out. But that's not nothing to do with me, because he doesn't own a business. Okay, so you ought to walk and talk to your own family.
Please continue directing your comments at the select board and not at the attendance of the meeting. We would appreciate
You gotta
that.
know the truth. Okay. With this, I'm not the one who's doing it in the town. Okay,
Certainly not.
black marks, I'm all from my stuff. Some of them are his thing, with black marks.
Do you have a average decibel reading from the readings that you've done?
From when I get done, if I have a band playing outside, very few nights a year, 365 days a year, start thinking about the percentage of time I'm asking. Okay, now, if I take my decimal meter, right by the band, I get just as close as I can get. At the very biggest beat, they'll get to 100 decibels. Now, the state law says it can stay 125 for an hour. Start looking it up. Okay, now.
But
that's
I
not
did
my-
spend it, I did spend a great deal of time researching this.
Okay, so then, if I walk away from it, just to my own fence, it goes right to 86 to 88. If I go to the street, it goes 80, it goes under 70 until a car goes by, and then it goes to 75 on an average car. Now, I've spent quite a few nights doing this, okay? This isn't something that just might have happened, okay? I mean, I've been going through this a lot, I thought we'd gone through it, I thought we'd work, but
It's our responsibility to weigh your input as well as the community's, so please forgive us for asking questions, and I completely agree with you there.
I'm not talking about a time weighted average, but decibel limit damage here. Talking about the weighing, pumping base in our house, which did occur when Mark was there too. I went over and talked to him. It was the two cops. And he begged for it. 3 o'clock in the morning, one Sunday morning, and some other guys were in there drinking. Went over and said, "What are you doing?" Explained, he said, "Fix it." But that bass is annoying. I'll drown it out. Almost like a pounding headache, trying to go to sleep. And we only asked all these skiers to turn volume down. Stop at reasonable time. That's all we've asked. Want them to go out of business? I think they would if they did those two things. Won't see any rubber marks from my driveway. My relatives only have one around here. All-wheel drive Focus. I don't think it's got power enough to burn out, but I don't know.
I think as far as those issues go, that would be another
Yeah.
discussion, so if we're talking about noise.
I'm talking about the noise of vehicles accelerating, not turning off, just accelerating. Nothing we can do about it. But just making the point that we as neighbors put up with a lot more than just the music on a daily basis. What I said earlier, it's a good place for people to go online. I don't begrudge anybody from doing it. It imposes on my ability to enjoy my home. And I believe I have a right to speak up for change.
Mhm.
That's all. That's all I've ever asked.
Mhm.
That's what I'm here for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the time you've been. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for
coming.
contributing public comment.
Yes, Martha.
Hi, Martha Catavinas. This permit that I'm looking at is from last year. So the dates that are on here, there were 10 functions. These were indoor. Is that what this is? If I'm reading correctly?
These can be indoor or outdoor.
Indoor
These
or
ones.
outdoor.
Yep, confined within the building on the premises where the business is located, with the exception that an outdoor area within the property limits may be utilized on the following dates.
So question, can they all be outdoor?
Where's this year's? So
We don't have this yet because I don't know what you want to put into the permit. I sent out a draft.
yeah.
that you want. So your permit's gonna come from the verbiage here, and then whatever changes need to be made.
if they're all on.
Yeah. But yeah, the dates outlined on this year's draft are July 26th, August 16th, August 23rd, and
Oh.
September
They're adding-
6th.
they're adding 4 more.
I checked, they're all on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And then the third one where he requests the 23rd to the 24th, he clarified for me is technically because 12:15 a.m. is the 24th.
So
Cause that's all last year.
that's the confusion I had.
So what we're
Is-
looking at doing
Yeah.
is when we write the special amusement permit
Yeah.
this year, we have a draft that we're working with that we more clearly delineate indoor events and outdoor events.
Right.
And so for this right here, we have 4 outdoor events.
Outdoor event.
Yeah, because that's the only thing with me, what I'm not trying to figure out.
Mhm.
Is this permit coincides with this liquor license?
Mhm.
Okay, so everything that needs to be on the 2025 permit should be with his liquor license. So if his liquor license becomes effective July 1st or whatever it is, or June, all his dates need to go all the way to the expiration of his, not just those 4. All those have to be into that permit.
Yep.
Or then.
Yeah.
Or what he's
They won't
asking
be-
is that he will come and make a further request in the spring.
When you liquor license, not do it. There's no law.
Yep, but from what I'm seeing on
Yep,
your,
thank you.
yours right there,
Mhm.
is that if it goes into play tonight, you only have until September of 2025. That means nothing will be available to you because the permit will only say to September of 2025.
No.
We separated it, so these would be the outdoor events. You can have the indoor events all the way through.
Okay. Yeah, all right, so that fits, whatever, I'll look at it when it gets written. I'm here because every year that place has been open, the public has had an issue and a problem. And when they come, it was one type of issue to another type of issue. We have an ordinance, the ordinance needs to be followed. So to reject him for his liquor licenses or even any of these, there has to be some police intervention, not just about being a good neighbor. That's not what these licenses and permits are supposed to be for. There's a lot of things that happen that neighbor to neighbor need to go have conversations, like with the lights. I think it's great. If you can make adjustments for the lights, that's great. But the noise will never change. The noise has been there since we allowed that business to open, when Mark had it, when Jason had it, and now when Lee has it. Lee has been a great neighbor to this town. He has done unbelievable things that people don't all know what he does. So for the few times that he has outdoor events so that he can stay in business, I think it's very important. It's very important. I do understand the neighbors. I live near the cannon all hours of the night, but it happens. There's nothing I can do about it. It's somebody else's property. We don't have a noise ordinance, nor do I want one. We move on from there. But I understand what they're saying, but they've been there for a long time. So just trying to figure out, making sure we get the right things. I'm happy. I think Lee does a great job.
Thanks. Thank you, Martha. Any further public comment?
Question. This whole.
Yeah.
Oh, clarification. Outdoor events or.
Band in a pavilion outside.
Yeah.
What's an indoor event? What?
The indoor event is, Thursday night, I have open mic from 7 to 10 o'clock at night. A bunch of people come and they get 20 minutes to play music, and if they do good, the people will like them, I'll have them come back on a Saturday night and play just themselves for a paycheck. So it's kind of like an interview night. On Tuesday, like right now, Jay Larkin's playing right now, 6 o'clock to 8 at night with the guitar sitting inside.
So it's just,
That night, you have to have a permit.
so it's indoor music.
Yes, yeah, any indoor music. And the bass thing is one thing, but I haven't had a thing with a drum set inside. Okay, since Brick House.
Okay, no, I'm just curious what the difference.
Anybody else around there, Brick House, well, that one, the long Brick House, and I heard about that so much. When Brick bought it. It's called Brick House.
So an indoor event is just basic, it's music that's indoors and there's a limit on the amount of indoor events according to the permit.
Now, just to clarify, I can there's no limit on the jukebox playing. There's no limit on pre-recorded music. If, I mean, I could technically have somebody record it in the studio down here, send it up to my place, send it over a speaker, and there's no ordinance against that at all.
Mhm.
Okay, it's just fine. Person sitting there playing music. like,
Live
you know,
music, live music.
hey,
Okay.
play for me.
Okay.
Oh,
Mhm.
It's just a clarification on a question, that's
Of
all.
course. Yeah, no, thank you for asking.
Thanks. Will you pull it up for us, Cam?
I just pulled up the ordinance,
Yeah.
exactly what he had just asked, and the definition of live entertainment's right there. If this wasn't in the way.
Live entertainment shall mean any music, dancing, amusement, performance, and/or exhibition permitted by the license on premises of an licensed establishment. Radios, TVs, or other mechanical devices are not considered live entertainment.
Sorry, I'm just reading here.
Mhm.
All right, is there any other comment?
We will go on to discuss this after
Yeah, we're
the
discussing.
select board meeting, so this doesn't.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
All set? No other public comment?
Anything online?
I'm sorry?
Was there anything online?
Neil's on.
It's just Neil.
Neil says no, okay. All right, so we'll close out this public hearing. And we want to take a short recess before the select board meeting?
Please.
Okay, so we'll take a short recess and then move into the select board meeting. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back in 10 minutes. All right.
Please,
Oh, boy. Hold on. Yeah.
Want to look back at those over the.
Want to see the old? What's the old?
Dating back to the beginning, just so that you can see the verbiage.
It's pretty standard for what we have here.
Oh, that goes in that.
Yeah, that goes in that folder. Oh, I walk around with it up since 3 AM.
I heard that. We are. We're. Wonderful way that it is.
Yeah, that's just fun about it. But. And inside the inside of the curve. So that's kind of cool. Alright. Man. Christmas in July. I can make that work. Yeah. My nephew owns a fence truck. Oh, pardon me. You need to take a fence, we gotta take a fence. Oh. No, see the ones now, they put air in them, it's water up. It's all old and all out. You go wrong, but they will. 800 pounds. It's tiny dent, but it's a wall. Because it's a wall, so that's the air. It'll bounce out. I try to help pick it up. Scary. You guys don't. Yeah.
Right here, just be the.
All I gotta do is go, oh, I just want to take it, and I was like, get away, get away. And I'm like, oh. Play this one up.
Yeah.
So. Really muggy, muggy. Even yesterday, it was like, it looked cool and temperate outside, but the humidity had me dying.
One year.
You good to go, Captain?
No, you guys ready?
Ready?
Ready when you are.
Just press it.
There we go. I'm good. All right, we'll call this meeting of the Buckfield Select Board to order for July 15th, 2025 at 7:12 p.m. Earlier, we had a public hearing on the, we had a workshop on the solid waste.
Swap shop guidelines.
Shop, yep. And they're looking for some help over there. I wanted to mention that.
Yes, Sarah Nichols is currently the shop coordinator and has more information. So if you are, as well as specific asks, but basically we are looking for someone, couple different asks. We are just in need of construction knowledge and like someone to point the swap shop in a direction of how to tackle this project. They've torn up old carpeting and subflooring and just have some items of concern. I have Sarah sending me a list of specific asks right now that I intend on dispersing through both the Facebook page as well as our email list, and perhaps just posting directly to the transfer station town page. So if you are watching this back, please look in one of those places in, I don't know, a day or two after today, Tuesday the 15th, and we'll hope to have those specific asks posted. But yeah, looking for anything from like hands-on volunteer time to just someone with construction knowledge pointing us in a direction, to someone with tools that can be used to work in a steel Connex container. The swap shop does not have volunteer access to these sorts of tools. But yeah, again, take a peek on either the Facebook page or the transfer station page, I'll say by this Friday. And we will hope to have some more specific targeted asks there. But yeah, they're kind of at a standstill right now, unable to accept donations while this space is being made safe for both visitors as well as shop volunteers, which is our priority right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we just had a public hearing for the special amusement permit for the liquor license for the Bucket. We'll discuss that later on. So on the agenda, election of a chair and a vice chair. Cassandra,
I'd like to nominate Robert Ann to continue as chair of the select board.
thank you.
I need to second that.
Please.
I'll second that.
It wasn't a motion, so it was a.
All right, all those in favor?
Delia, aye.
Peter, I.
Sandra, I.
Guess I'll vote aye too.
Yes,
Don't vote for anybody that wouldn't vote for themselves, right?
Right.
that's right.
And the vice chair.
I would like to nominate Sandra Fickett to consider being the board's vice chairman.
I will second that motion.
You accept?
I accept.
All right, all those in favor?
Delia, aye.
Peter, I.
Sandra, I.
All right. Thank you. Old business, 2025-26 paving, Brock School Road, Ferris Hill Road. We have to sign the contract awarded to Pike Industries on July 1st, 2025.
Originally, he was gonna be here for the meeting, but then we added the public hearing, so he's already executed this. This is the same contract from the RFP, so it just needs your signature so I can forward it up to them.
Okay.
They have a copy.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Exciting news. Select board evaluations and goal setting. This was on our parking lot we were discussing. There was a couple of drafts sent around.
Yes, Sandra sent a great draft that I saw no problems with personally. I just had also happened to create a draft for that same meeting, which I sent out to the select board. I received no comments, so I took no action, but.
Yes.
So I read the legal feedback.
Yep.
On the evaluations, and I think my question was, what's public in an evaluation process?
Mhm.
Not that we don't want our evaluation process to be public, but sometimes it's easier to really take a long, hard look when it's just something that is between you and your supervisor as far as specific people.
Mhm.
but it looks like the entire process, all documentation. So even if we were to do individual, like a self-evaluation and then compile it all, that those self-evaluations, everything would be public.
Not to interrupt, I screwed up, I sent it in the wrong spot, so we need a new sign.
Well, oh, that sucks. That's the one he signed.
Can we white out,
White out, or
or we just white out underneath it?
just draw a line through the name that's underneath it and write your name underneath it.
It won't be in dispute,
We'll just cross out my name,
publicly witnessed.
Just.
but I'm not vice chairman. I saw Pickett and I just signed it.
I almost suggested waiting until the end of the meeting, so we weren't.
I'm just gonna write selectmen under every signature line from now on.
Cute.
There you go.
How well he knows us. So pausing this, I'm not going to try to do two things at once.
Sure.
I'm thinking, my suggestion would be that we take the evaluative tool and we do it, fill that out collectively
Mhm,
and then set collective goals
mhm.
based on, rather than
Yeah.
individual evaluations.
Sure.
And your feedback as far as leaving space for comments,
Mhm.
I think is fabulous.
Okay.
So wherever people want to go from there.
Mhm.
So we want to evaluate ourselves and then draw that into a single document.
Well, I think what she's saying is we are evaluating ourselves all together as a board, and presenting that as a public document. And I believe inherently in that process, as we're reflecting on those questions all as a board, we will be thinking internally about our personal performance as well. But it would be a collective board evaluation and goal setting instead of individual.
Okay. So do we want to prepare something like?
Yes, I would be happy if, if you got a full plate right now, I'd be happy to draft up kind of like a reformatted version of your questions with just more space for comment. And I can send that out prior to our next meeting. I'll send it out in the next week and we can all look at it, see if there's any changes we want to make from there. And then we could aim to set those goals and evaluate ourselves at the next meeting. Which I believe is the first week of August.
August 5th.
August 5th, thank you.
It obviously change that language from individual to group
Right, yeah,
and do it, anything that you need. Move it around.
Okay, so that, do we need to vote on that or can we? I think we can move forward. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we'll just plan on having that on the agenda, Cameron, if you could. For the 5th.
Thank you.
The agenda's wrong. I wrote 4th on the agenda. It's the 5th.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good to know.
Where at?
With the bottom upcoming meetings.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right, consent agenda.
Make motion that we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All right, discussion, and I believe we do have some discussion.
I updated the board and committee list to show the current openings and what committees are how many members are in each committee.
Yep.
Last meeting, you appointed one member to the planning board who happens to be sitting right there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And then later on in this meeting, you'll have another application for the planning board. So if we're getting there, as long as you appoint the other one, we'll only need one more.
We need somebody else on the planning board.
need at least one more for them to be able to hold a meeting. And there's a subdivision application that's pending. It's more of a lot split as opposed to like a subdivision.
Yeah.
But because it's a split, it falls into those guidelines. So the sooner we can get another member, the better.
Yeah.
I did have Kingston review it, just from a code enforcement standpoint to see like if it was anything stuck out to him, and he seemed to feel that it was pretty cut and dry, but it's not his decision, it's the planning board, so.
Right, yeah, I'm kind of holding up projects without folks on the board, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, not good.
And then Stacy submitted her report. If anybody wants to cover it. Did you get it up? I got it.
I do have it. Over at the rescue department, they had 39 total calls this month. That makes total calls for service year to date 212. This month, 20 happened during the daytime between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., with 19 happening at nighttime. Mostly servicing Buckfield, of course, with 21 calls. Also some 5 Hartford, 7 Sumner, 1 Turner, 3 Hebron, 1 Canton, 1 Paris. Couple new team members. We're welcoming Zach Martin, Gunnar Monacle, Cassie Lissard, and Naomi Hartman to Buckfield Rescue. Welcome back, Zach, a returning member of the department who just built a new house in town. Congratulations. He's been a paramedic for the last few years and is excited to be back in Buckfield. Gunnar is an advanced EMT coming to us from the Basselboro area, where he works at another service, so please give him a warm welcome to the community. Cassidy has just completed her EMT class and will be taking her national registry exam in the middle of July. She'll come on as a driver until she passes her exam. Welcome, Cassidy. And Naomi is an EMT with a couple years of experience and currently living in South Paris. Recently moved back from Maine from Massachusetts, so welcome back. And there she worked as an EMT as well. Stacy is excited to have them on board and looks forward to the contributions they'll bring to the department. We also have some accomplishments to celebrate. Please help us in congratulating the following members for successfully passing their national registry exam: Sam Billings as an EMT, Rachel Hodgkins as an AEMT, and Aiden Lowe as an AEMT. Stacy says, we're incredibly proud to have you on the team. Way to go, Ben. Your Buckfield Rescue family is cheering you on. They did. And
Clarify.
yeah. And yeah. They've also applied to the Stephen and Tabitha King Foundation grant and were awarded a grant. The foundation granted Buckfield Rescue $25,000 to purchase a Lucas device. This new piece of equipment has already arrived and has been placed in service. Buckfield Rescue now has 2 Lucas devices, 1 on each ambulance. Someone with more knowledge tell me what a Lucas device is.
Go ahead. No, feel free.
So it's a manual CPR device. So it does perfect depth, rates, everything on for CPR compressions. It doesn't get tired ever. You just gotta swap out a battery. But those batteries last like 2 hours at a whack.
Wow.
So they're phenomenal. And that Lucas itself, I think we had it for roughly 36 hours, maybe a little more. And it went to a cardiac arrest and had a positive outcome.
Wow.
So it definitely played its role in a very short time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you so much for the rescue department for, submitting for that grant. I think that is, of course, a great asset to the community and very comforting that we now have 1 on each ambulance. All right, no upcoming events, and that is the update from Stacy.
Wonderful. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor, Bob, aye.
Celia, aye.
Peter, I.
Sandra, aye.
And the total on those warrants was $191,548.92. Approval of the minutes from the July 1st, 2025 Select Board meeting.
Move that we approve minutes for the July 1st, 2025 select board meeting.
I will second.
Right, further discussion? All those in favor, Bob, aye.
Azalea, I.
I was not there, so.
All
Under
right,
I.
thank you. Bucket Grill and Pub Special Amusement Permit and Liquor License Renewal. And we just had the public hearing on that. Yes, Sandra?
Just to make sure that we have everything correct in what we do. It says page 1 of 11 of the liquor licensing and enforcement application. So the expiration date, we may need to ask Lee for help on this, of 8/14/25. That's the current,
Sure.
okay,
And raise that next year, I'm gonna, have, or have it, like it used to be. I don't think that's a problem. Sorry. I would hope,
Mhm.
that way we can do it first in the spring. It looks good.
so you need to reapply.
I'll reapply in the spring anyway. So I'm hoping that if I reapply in the spring, put this whole thing in spring again, it'll just be 3 months sooner, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
When I do it, and, I'm hoping to say, take 3 months. It's that. But I can talk to them.
So have you already reapplied to cover yourself from 8/14 through next spring?
Yeah, you have to approve it first. Then he can mail it in.
Got signed.
Okay, so the current is 8/14 and then the next, so the next one would start 8/15 and
Yeah.
go.
It would go until next August. That, you only, see it before coronavirus, you know, I mean, way better for me.
Mhm.
Don't try to keep everything in line anymore. Silly.
But I'm pretty sure if I told the state I wouldn't do it early, not late, to take care.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I worked at Bath Iron Works, we bought a ship in, freaking $12 million less than what it's supposed to, and they had to give the money back to the Navy. You know what they had to do to take the money back? Congress had to vote on it. Our US Congress had to vote, take the money back. So, I don't put nothing back.
Yes, Sandra?
Anyone who knows me, knows us, we support Lee and the Bucket, on all levels. We work together as businesses. I go there.
Mhm.
The work that Lee does, in town is invaluable. The amount that he gives back, immeasurable. However, if there is one topic that community members consistently reach out to me on, it's this one. And I want for people to know that they're heard
Mhm.
and that their concerns are shared
Yep.
with the select board. I know that Lee, at least anything I've seen, that you really want to work with your neighbors and, that your goal is to be a successful business that can give back to the community. I've been invited to people's homes during events. And I can understand the frustration at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. If you're in your home with the windows closed and you can't hear your own TV, I can understand why that would be frustrating. And if you have to work the next morning and you can physically feel it,
Mhm.
I get why that would bother someone. However, of the people who have invited me into their homes to experience what they experienced, not one of those people has said that they don't want the bucket to, that they don't want the bucket to have outdoor events. I think the biggest piece was just being able to plan on when those events would be, and I appreciate the people who came tonight. There were people who expressed that they haven't come in the past because they did not feel that they were welcome or that anyone wanted to hear what they had to say. And I'm glad that there are some people who felt that they could speak out. And I'm pleased that there were people that felt that they could reach out to select board members to be heard. So that's the information that I wanted to share. There were people who did not want to share their names because they felt that they would experience some form of retribution. That saddened me that they felt that way. But when I look at the draft that we have in front of us, with 4 outdoor dates for the, if I look at I under 2, that date should be changed to 2025.
Oops.
Looking up under indoor live and entertainment, A and B were the same times. So I didn't know if combining those, so it would, instead of one line being Sunday and the other.
They haven't, yeah, they're discussing this now, so.
This is nothing different than what you've asked.
Times are different though.
Times.
On A and B, the times are the same.
Yes.
So if that were to be combined to say,
Sunday through
Sunday
Wednesday.
through
honestly, you want me to wait? Or can-
I don't think they can hear it on the mics unless they have one.
Yeah, I think we're okay.
That A and B be combined. And it's,
We're just verifying with Lee.
So this is where their discussion should be ended,
Yeah, yeah.
because they'll have a time for public comment.
are they?
Agreed.
Right.
I can say something, Bob.
I gotcha.
Okay.
Can you guys,
Mhm.
Martha,
You guys tell me what.
Right,
Yes.
right.
we were just,
If you guys want to discuss something, can you step outside?
Yeah,
We're trying to have
sorry.
a conversation here and it's hard to.
okay.
Thank you. Right, so combining A and B to read Sunday through Wednesday is where we left off. Did you have another point?
Um. I'm thinking that, so with every liquor license application, you need to redraw
Mhm. Your doodle.
your establishment.
Mhm.
So it may be good practice to attach the premise diagram.
Mhm.
Particularly, I know that, he does a lot of work on a regular basis, and
Yeah.
things change and grow. So for that to just be attached, we could photocopy it from the liquor license application.
Mhm.
Um, And then I'm confused under 6, and shall be valid for the same term as the licensee's valid 2024 liquor license renewal.
I didn't change the date.
Okay, so it should say 20, or shall be valid for the same term as the licensee's current liquor license.
There's one from 2012 for Captain Bly's. It says the permit expires on the same date as the above named business liquor license, which in this case is September 27th, 2013.
Are we talking about number 6 right now?
Well, I'm just,
Referencing
Ref-
previous language.
everything got changed during that whole COVID period because the dates of everything ended. So it's read that he was applying for these as he was applying for his liquor license. So he can't apply for his liquor license until you approve that portion of it. So we've done it for that renewal. So if when he comes in May, his renewals for August, and then he typically would come back in at the beginning of the summer. So everything's been all messed up. So it's read for this renewal, which you're voting on in a separate item, would be his liquor license,
Mhm.
which then would be from August to August next year, unless he applies earlier, does whatever he said he was gonna do.
So we would just need to change that to 2025? Is that?
That's what I have noted on mine. I
His special amusement permit, though, he's only asking,
Correct. So he would have to come before you and request a new permit next year for any outdoor event
Mhm.
in the spring if he wants to have them in the summer. Or, because right now, the way it works, those 4 dates he gave you, if it expires when his liquor license expires now, is it 1 or 2 of the events don't even fall under
2.
his?
well, it seemed to me that the special amusement permit would be for a year,
I gotta get through one.
correct?
So,
And it would be contingent upon a liquor license in good standing. So this,
the ordinance says a special amusement permit shall be valid for the same term as the licensee's valid liquor license unless suspended or revoked.
I mean, our liquor license is state. We don't look like.
Everything runs in conjunction. You approve the local one so he can get the state one.
Mhm.
But like I was explaining again, and I think we hit on it earlier in the public hearing, was so really what I think is going on right now is the timing of everything is off.
Right.
during COVID, he would apply, his permit expired, and then it would follow that. Because like I said, if you approve his liquor license tonight, or he can apply for a state one, it would carry through till next year. However, because he only has these 4 events, he'll have to come in the spring to apply for a new one for any of those outdoor events before he can have any outdoor events. So even though it's valid, his inside stuff is covered by this, but those outside live events, he'd need to get another permit or renew his permit in the spring.
But the so after to match up with the ordinance. Because these requests fall under 2 different liquor licenses.
Yeah, they're
So
offset.
if the amusement permit, we just need to make sure it's done correctly. If the amusement permit needs to be in line with the liquor license, then what was the date? August.
25th, 14th.
The 14th. So July 26, 2025 would need to be an amendment to the past special amusement permit. And then August 16th through September 6th for outdoor, and then the rest for the indoor would be the special amusement permit that lines up with the new liquor license, which starts 8/14/25.
Either way, he'd still have to come back in the spring, because if he wants anything next year, he'll have to get another.
Right, but for right now, maybe it doesn't matter.
Well, wouldn't this, our, potential approval of this draft, wouldn't that supersede any previous permits handed out? Because I think, if I'm understanding you correctly, her concern is that, this is a date that would have fallen under the previous.
Because under E,
permit.
special amusement permit
Yeah.
shall be valid for the same term as the licensee's valid liquor license.
Mhm.
So these 4 events fall under
Separate terms.
separate.
Right, but
Which-
that was because of COVID. So there.
And his solution to this would be to go through and this is just my opinion, I know what the ordinance says, but we got to get back on track with the ordinance, right? So until he applies earlier, gets a new date for his liquor license, which it may be difficult for him to schedule those dates in August for the following summer. I mean, I don't know what that entails, so that's probably why. You may want to ask him.
Yeah.
I'm addressing you, so you may want to ask him, like, what goes into that with, but no matter which way you spin this is,
They're offset.
the town's had them offset since 2019,
Mhm.
something like that.
Lee?
He comes in and does them both at the same time.
Thing that I could do is go add whatever dates I'm gonna have next year to August, but then it looks like I'm having a ton of. You know what I mean? The reason I did put them on here is, I don't even know what day I can get. I have social play on the anniversary period. It's up to them what day they play.
Mhm.
Because,
Yep.
other than that, I gotta pay $5,000 to play. But I leave it up to them. It's fine. You can-
I got you. Yeah.
So that was the only reason I didn't add dates for next year, but I could put dates in for next year, it'll only be 2. Add 1st of June and one around the 4th of July. And that would be it. Add 2 more dates that, let's bring it back on. As long as I get the liquor license done, the use permit could be done next week, next use for down here. You know, but then you have, probably have it down, come back in. Or I can apply early next year, like I should have done this year. Yeah.
I don't think any, I don't think any of that is the issue, and I don't believe that signing off on the liquor license is at all an issue. It's just making,
Just right.
because looking at this, the special amusement permit should go from,
August,
right,
Mhm.
but certainly, I don't see an issue with you, with a business coming back to amend,
Yeah.
ask for an amendment
Yeah.
to their special amusement permit.
Mhm.
But seeing that the ordinance says that the amusement permit needs to line up with the liquor license, and one of these dates is with the liquor license now, and the other three are for the next liquor license, it's just that little,
So would his, sorry,
No, go ahead.
so would his proper course of action in the future be apply for the liquor license, get that approved, then apply for his special amusement? He's always done it in conjunction, right?
Mhm.
So his 2024 liquor license expires in August. His 2025 liquor license will expire in August of 2026. I get what
The
you're saying, because of that one
25,
date. I mean, I would believe that issuing a new permit with that one date that falls outside of that scope, I get what you're saying. But to answer your question earlier, I would think that issuing a new permit would, his prior one is now no longer an issue because he now has a new one. But
It makes sense to me.
is there anything in this ordinance that prevents an amendment to a special amusement permit?
it doesn't specify. It's a very vague, I mean, it doesn't say you can't, doesn't say you can.
Because it would make sense that you can't set specific dates for next summer
Mhm. Right,
now.
absolutely.
So just stay the same
Yeah.
schedule.
Yep.
And so then when business owner comes back to amend it, those amendments would include anything up until August 14th, 2026
Right.
for outdoors. And if we treated July 26th as an amendment to the 24-25
Mhm.
special amusement permit, then we're keeping the special amusement permit in line with the liquor license.
Mhm.
Right. So they fall together.
Right.
Yep.
So it follows the same.
Yep.
There an easier way for you to do this?
It's up to you guys. The ordinance says what it says. That's how you want to do it.
I don't see why we couldn't do that, just so that it still have the liquor license and it would line up then. So we just,
So if you ended up doing that and then approved this as he originally applied for, he'd have to come in for an amendment to add his summer dates next year. Now, I don't
He would
know,
have to change his liquor license.
but because those dates weren't on the notifications that I sent to the abutters and everybody that came here for the public hearing, that creates a whole, now what, when he has an amendment, you have to have another public hearing to do that? because part of that, when I send that out, they get a copy of the dates and everything. They haven't been notified about next summer. So that's why I went back to, he comes in the spring, gets all, I don't know, no matter which way you slice this is confusing at this point.
Well, unless there's,
Because this isn't gonna entail his entire thing, but because the ordinance doesn't address it, does that mean we have to have another public hearing to add those dates?
Mhm.
Because they weren't part of the original application.
I would think so. So then maybe we look at adjusting the language of the ordinance, or asking the community to adjust the language of the ordinance, that it doesn't necessarily have to line up with the specific dates of the liquor license. It just needs to,
Valid for 1 year unless the licensee is valid liquor or
Right,
their liquor
unless for
license
whatever
is suspended
reason.
or revoked.
the state suspends. And that way, any business can just come in at once a year,
Mhm.
like in the spring, and it doesn't. Right, because the timing of getting any license or permit from the state is. It's not an easy process right now.
Now, you
So we
look
get-
at real IDs there, that's already, or I gotta go get one.
So I guess I just need to know what the board wants me to do, because I have to write this up so that you can
Mhm.
sign it, because he needs to have something before he can do anything on the 26th.
Right.
Now, they know that date was on there because that was included with the packet that I sent them.
Mhm.
Yes.
So Leah, I have a question. We heard the community the timing of things is important to people. You feel very confident that the music doesn't go past 11 PM. I know the event can keep going.
The only one that ever has ever gone past 11 is all first of the year, one, like 8th anniversary. Always play till 11. Well, they said play one more song from the song. My permit, well, 15, 11.
Mhm.
The reason I leave that hour in there is sometimes people think the band loading up and people with the parking lot. But I, those
Right.
every one of my bands stop an hour before, guaranteed. I'm gonna have an hour buffer or even people say, well, that's too much, don't put it in. Well, then if I go 5 minutes later, then I'm in trouble.
Right,
And
okay.
8 years of doing it, pretty well figuring it out.
So on the August 23rd to 24th, the reason that goes an hour longer,
The reason that took the hour longer is because that's usually the very last time I have music. The only reason I put the other one in is they got a band coming last minute, won't play, and they'll be done. That way, probably at 10 o'clock, right? I should have brought my schedule, I'm pretty sure that means like 10.
Mhm.
And I go, look.
Mhm.
A lot of my musicians are a lot older than you guys. I bet my average age is nothing. But
careful.
average age, and say the young people like you.
So, how would you feel about in property changing the time on the August 23rd to 24th for the entertainment itself to end before midnight?
Okay. Like that one.
And I understand the event could keep going, people can stay, people can keep.
By state law, they can't, they
Mhm.
That's a whole other ball wax.
Right.
But, no, as long as you write on this what it is, I mean, my time is anything, but
Mhm.
how we do, I can, like, 11:25. don't put any past that, you know what I mean?
Right.
I do have another suggestion, that it might take, I don't know. But I think it has 72 hours notice given on something. I was wondering if you took the July 26th off and put it at the 72-hour notice, and then I just give you the other 2 dates for next summer. Then you might have to come back in here and meet for music permit, not the
I believe that 72-hour clause only applies to indoor live entertainment. So it,
when you outdoor event, I'm that. That the person came to me. They wanted for an act. And all the money goes to the band. So I came here, that's well, that's not, that's how much people.
Yeah.
Twice. Yeah. That's, people understand what the 72 hours, is good for that. Because somebody got to pay for full. It's I mean, there are a lot of people that show up my place, and then have a little gas now. Even that wasn't here because of the country.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
So if we looked at the July 26th. Event. And it has an amendment to the current special amusement permit.
Mm-hmm.
And then. Does it matter that we didn't already approve? The liquor license? Do we need to approve the liquor license before we approve the special amusement permit?
No, because
We're all doing it tonight, right?
it's all getting done.
Yeah.
So. I'd like to make a motion that. We amend the current special amusement permit. For the Bucket Grill and Pub to include an outdoor event on July 26, 2025. To not begin earlier than 11 a.m. And to not end any later than 11:15.
I will second that.
Further discussion? All those in favor, Bob, aye.
Azalea, aye.
Peter, aye.
Sandra, aye.
Okay.
Then if we look at the current draft. We looked at combining A and B under indoor live entertainment. And then we'll be removing I. And then changing the other three. To I. Those diagram in this current. Is there, hold on.
Yeah, in the liquor license application, if you
Page
get to
10.
that part, page 10 of 11.
Okay. So. If we include. Let's. I'm suggesting that we include the premises floor plan. The current one. So just included with the current state of Maine liquor license. So change the date to. the year to the word current.
Okay.
And then this
Down here,
permit,
just changing this to current instead of valid 2020, whatever.
so then number 6 would be this permit shall be valid for the same term as the licensee's valid 2025, 2026 liquor license renewal. And then I think the goal would be starting next year.
Yeah.
Lee to come in the spring, whatever the liquor license is, and plan all of our events.
Yep.
Right.
But you just
Just in
applying for
case,
these
yeah.
things, and then maybe we can look at changing the language in the ordinance,
Mhm.
so it would allow business folks to.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Martha.
So on the draft, I gave it a draft, so the last date that's on this draft is September of 2025, correct?
Correct.
So if this goes the way that it is, the way that I read this, is that he will not be allowed to have any outdoor functions in 2026 without getting a new permit, which will, under the ordinance, nullify this one, we'll have to reapply, we'll have to do a public hearing again, and put a new permit.
Right.
Or look at amending this one, but it would require a public.
I don't think you can amend the permit, permit will end, permit is no longer valid, it ends. There's no amending permit, reissue a permit, it would be a new permit.
Well, it's not valid up until the last date. It's valid for the same term as the licensee's valid liquor license, right?
The way the prior one was written was what he created all the confusion. Was that indoor? Was that outdoor? I think Sandra had brought that up at a prior meeting.
Yeah.
And this one, because of that conversation, had it separated out. So like, he can have those late indoor events, but it doesn't have a clause for him. You would have to write something in the permit that would allow him to have
Shorter notice outdoor.
for outdoor, especially where he didn't have the chance to provide us with next summer, in order to not have to go to a public hearing and do.
But part of what I see the challenge is the way the ordinance is written. It says that the special amusement permit has to be the same date as the liquor license. So if we look at, and we would have to have the public vote, but that instead of it having to align for that same amount of time, and that way any business owner can pick the best time to come and apply for a year-long permit that they would hold as long as their liquor license was in good standing.
But I like to go ski areas, I want my thing to go through the winter. You know what I mean? I want my permit to go through the winter and use it all winter. Ski, right? Cause that's a long mill for them. They have used it all winter long. They don't do it much. It's different like all over the beach, so.
Yes, Martha?
The way that it was all written, so that the public had one opportunity to come and say what they needed to say, without having the business owner have to keep having a public hearing and another public hearing, another public hearing, every time he wanted to adjust it. And it also forced him to not be able to make that. That was kind of how it all got.
Yeah.
Said it was one and done. And that people in the neighborhood could plan that those 4 dates, those 6 days that he was gonna be
rambunctious, with the neighbors, they could choose to not be there.
Right.
Or figure out something to do that. But that allowed him to have a business, to be able to do what he needs to do, make money. And it will never make all of it.
Right.
But because he's only brought these 3 dates, and that's what we gave to the public. Even if we said, okay, let's do another one, and we would still have to have people come back. Because those are the only dates we gave to the public.
That's what I was trying to explain,
So,
is that right now, it
because-
has made the green.
So going forward, we'll,
Right, at some point we're gonna have to correct, right? And in order to correct, you have to have that extra meeting.
so if we go with this and then see how we can streamline it starting next spring.
Yep.
Because exactly, there are some people who talk about, as long as they know ahead of time, they make plans to stay somewhere else, and thank you to them.
The liquor inspector might call the town and she does it. I'll explain it. Like, they just get paid early.
All right.
Okay.
So I move that we approve the town of Buckfield special amusement permit for the Bucket Grill and Pub. To align with the dates of the 2025-2026 liquor license application with the discussed changes.
Yep.
I will second.
All right, further discussion. Oh, I think we're good.
You all are gonna have to wait here until I type that up so that I can get you to sign it before his, well, then that one you just approved, so, okay.
We haven't voted on it yet.
Yeah, I haven't approved it yet.
All in favor?
I seconded.
Bob, aye.
Celia, aye.
Peter, I.
Sandra, I.
Here we go. Okay.
Then we have, well,
Otherwise, so
Right.
I'm glad she wrote it down.
Yep,
Um,
very helpful.
Yes, thank you, Sandra. That was,
painful.
it was a long road, but
Comprehensive.
it makes sense. It's just,
Right.
yes.
Mhm.
All right, ambulance replacement.
Nope, you gotta work it.
Beep, beep.
Oh, we didn't do the liquor license. I'm
So
sorry.
it's 2 separate.
Separate one, yeah.
So I make a motion to approve. Let me make sure I get the title. The Town of Buckfield Local Liquor Option Allowance Application. Presented to us by Lee Johnson. Dated 5/2/2025.
I'll second that. Further discussion?
Does the motion need to be with changes or can we approve it like this?
That's on his state application.
Oh, gotcha.
Lee, on question 11, on your state app, you didn't check anything off. I don't know if that was just, you missed it.
It's just, do you own or have any interest in any other main liquor license? Yeah. No, you're good. Just
I want to
update
check it
that.
off before you mail it.
Yeah, update that before you mail it in. Mm-hmm.
Page 6. Double 11.
Yeah, I got that one.
Okay. Any further discussion on that?
What was the motion? We're voting to
Motion
approve his
to-
local liquor license?
Yes.
How do
I
you,
second it.
Sandra moved, he second.
All right, all those in favor, Bob, aye.
Azalea, aye.
Peter, I.
Sandra, I.
All right, there we go. Now,
Do we also have to approve the state, or he just
No, you sign this and he sends
That's all
off to
we
the
need to
state
do,
so that
just
he can
the
get their
board.
approval.
Oh, we need to- right, okay.
Yeah, he's taking his line of it.
Sign it real quick so we can.
We'll just pick lines, we'll,
I will.
I want to be. on the
Sign it right across. Oh, gee.
Fancy one right here.
Once they sign it, I'll go make a copy. So I have a copy and then I'll give you the original.
Pam's fancy pen.
A lot of times, it's like, mail it to the state, they correct, and then they'll thing. I take it out, hand it to them, they wait right here, they go in the other room, they fill it out, you bring it up, you see it right there. How much better that feels, even though you have to drive to Augusta, it's so much better to have it just handed.
Yes, yeah.
There's something about that, having it be.
Quite a few. Too.
Wouldn't it be great if you could just do a, all like in a packet, all the licenses and everything, just in one packet?
License, that is done all online.
It's his head.
Huh? Don't need it now.
It's going big.
Not anyway, huh?
Classic Vic.
Save you the walk. You can start the next one. Ben's here.
We're good? All right. Ambulance replacement. Now I'm in the right order.
Thanks for hanging with us, Ben. You have a mic? Yeah, grab that one. Make sure the green light's on.
Yes.
I'm Ben Limerick, I'm the deputy chief of EMS here in Buckfield. I don't live in town, I live in Mechanic Falls. So in the long run, we're trying to replace unit 451. It's a 2013 and currently has about 111,000 miles on it. As far as I know, its original intent was to buy the truck to have the body remounted, and then just as time went on, it just never happened. And remounts now are severely expensive. And it wouldn't really be within our CIP budget to send that truck out to get remounted. And then we'd also be without a truck for 6 months to a year. Are they shorter now?
Not much.
Say there for so ballpark a year we'd be without a truck. So we'd either have to lease one or buy one for the interim. So it's kind of narrowed down our options to buying another used truck, which we're completely okay with. Just buying something, not a 2013. So I printed off a bunch of options. Everything's a 2017 or newer. I can get you guys copies of. I had like 10 of them. If you guys want, I brought some. All right. So in the long run, we're just kind of looking for permission to buy a truck that's within our CIP budget, which I believe is 120,000. All of the trucks that we've had interest in that we found online have been well under that. They've been, I think the highest one was 80 or 90. The only hiccup that we could ever really see would be like we would be buying somebody else's used truck, and why are they getting rid of it? Is it just it's time and it's getting phased out, or is it a lemon and they're trying to get rid of it? And we won't know that until we buy it. It happens everywhere. I mean, we've even had brand new 2025 trucks that, you know, you get 15, 20,000 miles on them and they just start to fall apart.
So really long and we're just kind of looking for permission to buy a truck that we think would suit the town for another, hopefully maybe get another 8 or 10 years. And then in that time, we'll have to replace the other ambulance. But then just kind of keep rolling it, but keep it budget effective. And just have a good, safe truck that's gonna do well for the community and do well for the staff and just be safe. That's our biggest thing, is just having a truck that's gonna be safe. And be good for the community. We've talked a little bit in the past about the preference of having a truck chassis that's a four-wheel drive. I think in this setting in Maine, four-wheel drive is a pretty good idea to go with. Especially we do service parts of Hartford and all of Sumner, and there's even during the summer, some of the roads we have to go down, four-wheel drive would be kind of nice. The van chassis have treated us pretty good. But there are some times where we wish we just had a more rugged suspension. Just some of the windy back roads, having an upgraded suspension would be phenomenal. And just some of the equipment that we're carrying now, we seem to be putting more and more stuff on the trucks and they're getting heavier. So just having that more heavy duty chassis would be, I think, very beneficial for the town and the community. I guess in the long run, it's up to you guys. And the only problem with the used trucks, that as far as them online, is these ones I double checked that they were on here today. They were still on the websites, but there was a couple that we found 2 weeks ago that weren't for sale today. So it's something that we'd have to kind of jump on pretty quick once we do find a truck that we think is appropriate, and get it here and then transfer our equipment onto it, get it licensed, and all that, and then put 451 out to bid or out on the front lawn for sale, or whatever the town feels is appropriate to do with it, to try to maybe recoup some funds out of it. That's my soapbox. Yeah.
You haven't had the current unit appraised or anything?
We have not,
Yeah.
no.
Do you have any ballpark on what it would be worth now?
Honestly, I don't know.
So you were on the board when we purchased, actually, I don't think you were on the board yet. You might have been on the board when 451 was purchased.
Yeah.
To replace,
451.
well, I'm trying to remember what year that one was. 7, yeah. So 451 is 2012.
Yeah, so it's
So 451 is a 2012 with 111,000 miles on it, which doesn't seem like a lot, but in a van chassis that's handling a lot of different parts. But regardless, when that was purchased, the intent originally was to remount it because it had never been remounted. We'd gotten a quote 2 years ago. It was in the ballpark of 180,000. Former chief left, new chief came in, made contact with Sugarloaf again. You're going to need an updated quote. Just stop calling. So it's not an option that we can see right now because there's only a couple of companies that do it, and if they're too busy and don't want to do it, well, that doesn't stop the fact that 451's most likely not going to take a sticker without significant body work. So that's when we start talking about looking at used trucks versus, or used ambulances versus remounting, and then hopefully maybe we find one that hasn't been remounted again and we can explore that option again in the future. But something needs to be done sooner than later rather than when it breaks down. Right now, 452 is over at Ripley waiting for an ETM.
Yeah, we're currently now 50%
So we have
2025.
We have that one truck, and if that truck goes down, which is our older truck, we're taking calls.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we need to do something about it. This was supposed to be remounted in a couple years was how it was sold, and we've now been running that truck almost 5 years. So the chassis itself, the only value in that van right now is probably the box, but even the box has got some structural stuff that is going to need to be fixed, even if it were remounted, which would cause the price to go up even more. So we're just kind of looking for guidance here. We can't just keep sitting on it and kicking the can down the road. 2012, 2025, that's 13 years. Talking on a good slow service, a 10-year rotation, well, it's past that.
Yeah. Even the newer trucks, the 2018, So we still got probably another 3 years before we really get, or probably another 2 before we really gotta make a decision.
I had
on
looked
doing
at,
some
I
of
had looked at a
that.
couple myself too, while he was looking at them, you know, there, at one point we had found one that was an older one, it was 2014, right, 22 years newer, but it had a new motor put into it. It was further down south.
Right.
So, but again, it's, you know, unless the body's really good, you know. We do have roughly $120,000 in that capital reserve.
Yes.
I know very little about vehicles and even less about an ambulance. As I went through this, earlier, it's ranged from 29,000 to 329,000.
Right.
I told him, you need to show you all the options that are
Yep.
out there, so you can see what the price ranges are. I don't, you know, obviously we can't afford anything that's less than $120,000. But
You mean more than?
anything more than, yeah, sorry.
You're fine.
So this is something with the people feel we need to do.
Well, I mean,
Yes,
once
correct.
451's inspection sticker was fired, we didn't need to
Right.
dump a lot of money into that, which is not in the budget, or we pull it out of reserves. to fix it.
When does the inspection?
It's on the board right now to call to get a service and a sticker. That's what jogged my memory of. We should probably get this rolling. I'll double check, I can double check when I run over after this, and I'll let you guys
So
know.
we're thinking it's not home.
It's probably July or August. Yeah, they would need a good bit of body work on the chassis part.
Did they give an estimate?
No, they just said it won't take a sticker next year.
Sure, yeah.
We're thinking it runs out the end of June.
I think so. I can run across real quick if you guys wanna. I think so, yeah. I can run across real quick if you guys wanna. If, right, I can run across real quick and double check it and say. I want you guys to hear me easy going.
It's okay. You don't have to literally run, it's okay.
So I mean,
So we're potentially down to one ambulance, period, in a couple weeks.
yeah, I mean, we've been discussing this for 2.5 years, and we haven't done anything because it's all been up in the air. We didn't have enough money to do the remount, and then when we got around to asking for another estimate, they never came to do it. So at this point, we need, what direction are we going in?
So if I may,
You're gonna say you
part
have.
part of the problem is that the cost of ambulances and remounts and even used trucks just skyrocketed. We, you know, at a larger service, it took us 3 years to get 3 new trucks. And those were, you know, substantially more than what's listed on here. And you know, I think at the time, you know, we were planning on, okay, we'll do a remount and it'll cost $120,000. That was pretty, you know, kind of the going thing, maybe a little more. Our last remount was like $268,000. So, and it was, you know, it was through COVID and all that. It just, you couldn't get new trucks. So now you're in a situation where, you know, you don't want to buy a truck that's so old and cheap that it only lasts you 3 years or less. But do you have enough with $120,000 to buy something that's gonna last? Yeah, so we're in a bit of a tough spot. And they're just not cheap. They're just, the best deals I've seen going recently are the ones that are what are they, is it remanufactured or
Yeah, I think it's the name of the company is remanufactured.
refurbished,
Yeah.
whatever they are, that's the best deals I've seen going of late, where it's basically a remount, but they're ready to go. And,
There was 2 of those on.
yeah, and unfortunately, they're gonna be over $120,000, but
Van chassis was 199 and a truck chassis was 249, 265, something like that.
yeah,
So that's one that's been completely remounted.
we don't have a lot to work with with 120. Yes,
I was
Martha?
waiting for you guys for that, so you don't have to immediately call on me. I got a bunch of.
Well, I'm sure. Yes, I don't blame you.
Okay, so 451 was purchased. It has 100 and something thousand miles. When it was purchased, how many miles? Got that?
I don't recall.
I can tell you where this is gonna go. Decision that you make tonight will have to be massive.
Yeah,
Because it was purchased, it's supposed to be remounted, we waited too long. We do services outside of town, how much of the miles are Buckfield, Sumner, Hartford miles compared to we're going to Boston, we're going to Bangor, we're going to that, and how much we put on our vehicles, that it tends to be us that ends up having to get it cost, and it's really frustrating to the next.
Mhm.
Got a couple questions. How much does it cost for a brand new ambulance? 0 miles, straight it off. We tend to purchase better vehicles, like every once in a while, we finally just have to bite the bullet and we take the low. Because it gives us better bang for the buck. By coming here in July with this question, I would be furious if I was sitting. I don't care that even though as a board member, we waited too long, I would be livid that the decision would have to be made right now, that we have to cash out that 120 grand. As a taxpayer, how am I gonna explain it to the taxpayer? Because it's gonna be nuts.
Mhm.
Is the 451 the diesel?
We don't own a diesel.
So they're both gas. That was the one that we got rid of. Placed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the question I had, is how much is a brand new one? We keep kicking the can and kicking the can, the remounting just seems to be getting higher and higher and higher and higher.
Mhm.
And we only get 5 years out of stuff.
Yep.
Right? What's the mileage on some of these that we're looking at? Because if we're only gonna go 100 grand and it's already got 50 on it.
Yeah.
We're back to spending
Oh, yeah.
the same amount of money again, just in
Mhm.
tough decisions. I feel that.
The,
That's all I got.
Thank you,
so
Martha.
a new ambulance, you're looking at 370, I bet.
When are you gonna get it?
Get it in a year, maybe 2.
Maybe.
And I've come to you guys about this, not just you guys, I mean, I've come to the board about this, that there aren't, before it was, we can't afford it, but it's great that if we could get the voters' approval to get a new ambulance, that's great. That doesn't solve the problem.
Right. Yeah, that and the availability.
I'd love to
Right.
see the town get a new ambulance and then be able to go into that 10-year rotation and then do it again in 10 years or whatever, but What-
You know, you just, and then I'm gonna leave, that's gonna let you guys just got it, that's not gonna get any better.
I'm not looking for an answer tonight.
Okay, so but, it's like, but you.
Push the attention and have it.
This is.
It's a discussion that needs to happen and,
Yeah,
and
I'll make my one comment, then I promise I'll leave. On number 7, you're gonna have to have another town meeting.
Hmm.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Instead of spending the $120,000, that's $120,000 on down payment of a brand new, let's do it right, first time in our life.
Mhm.
Instead of kicking it down. Now I'll go back.
Thank
have
you
a good
very
night,
much.
Martha.
Thank you, Martha.
So again, I'm not looking for you to say, yeah, go spend $120,000 in ambulance. I'm just letting you know right now that this is an issue.
Mhm.
It's been front and center for a while. Bob works on the truck. We've got 452, which is our newer one. That's a 2018 now. So it's starting to need maintenance and we're doing the maintenance, but it's July 15th and between an ECM and an alternator, we've pretty much covered half of we needed 2 front tires and a shaft replaced.
Yeah.
The first one was, I think.
So
4,300,
we're talking,
the second one.
yeah, we're halfway through our maintenance budget for 2026 on one truck. So if
The other truck that's being fixed right now,
Mhm.
when will that be ready?
We thought it was gonna be ready today.
We have a certain amount of confidence that it will be ready in the next week to 10 days.
I would
yeah.
think, yeah, they're usually pretty good about getting them back, especially where it's an ambulance,
Right.
but yeah. and the-
Not when 451 goes down,
Well, 451 will be down as of August 1st.
unless we take reserve funding to fix the bodywork. We'll have to get estimates,
But
and
nobody thinks that's a good idea.
I think it's a waste of money, but
I want to know how much of a waste of money though. Like I would like to know how much we could expect to spend on the repairs that are needed for the next year's inspection.
so I can tell you it needs all new rockers, even despite that accident. So this is the one that was in the accident too, that was repaired.
Yep.
So it needs new rockers. The body has a lot of corrosion that needs to be rectified. So that you're talking aluminum. I mean, we can send it in, but, and I have no problem doing it because I'll bring it to you, but long term, I think the town's throwing money away.
Mhm.
And then if we do fix it and something happens to the truck, guess what? We're out that money now. Now we have less than $120,000 to work with, so. Like I said, I'm not opposed to going to the voters and asking them to purchase a new one and go on a 5-year note and do that. But we're not gonna get it anytime soon. And the first time that 452 breaks down, we are without a truck. We have contracts that we are not that we wouldn't be able to meet, let alone service our own town. I mean, look at Stacy's report.
Mhm.
No,
We had,
nobody's arguing any of this.
Yeah.
So even if we do ask, so when you say to a company, we want to purchase one, it's not available for 2 years, how much of a deposit, what do we need to put down? You know,
Just usually, well,
or we just go on the list.
sometimes you save money if you purchase the chassis ahead of time. They'll give you a break on the price. That's probably 45,000, maybe.
the
And
van
then-
chassis.
Yeah. And then whenever they get it done. But
So essentially, in that case, we'd be saying to the voters, we're thinking new truck. 45,000, if you approve it, 45,000 up front, probably won't get it for another 2 years. And at that point.
Right.
we would
I haven't researched. Have you checked on new
I
research?
haven't looked at new ever since they stopped calling me back. We've reached out to, I know we reached out to Sugarloaf, AEB, AST or ASB, and.
Place in Rumford.
And Greenwood, yeah, that was the AEBs.
Yeah.
And, Greenwood.
Yeah, I hate to say 2 years without knowing.
Right, yeah.
Maybe you could find a demo unit somewhere that doesn't have any miles on it.
Sometimes they have them, yeah.
Well,
letting people know it could be up to, so it's almost as though we have two things going on. There's that discussion, there's that ask of the community, if that's something we want to ask the community. But if it could be up to 2 years, we can't wait 2 years.
Right.
We have
would
to
still
start
have
putting money into 451.
So we will either need to put money into 451 or purchase another vehicle. So what I would ask is, if you know that your budget cannot go above $120,000, what are our options for that?
And that's part of what he had brought to you today is these, the ones that are under that 120,000, those are your options.
Okay, so we get, but then, and again, I would just need somebody to, if there's anything in here from 22,000 to 69,000, and
So
I mean, even I could probably figure out why you wouldn't want to buy a $22,000 ambulance.
Mhm.
But I imagine there's a big difference between a $69,000 ambulance and a $100,000 ambulance, and like you said, how much will it cost to get a sticker on this for one more year?
Mhm.
As we ask the community to
Right.
perhaps look at, so I guess we have like door ABC.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you guys request, I'll do the best homework I can and bring it to the next board meeting in 2 weeks.
Door A is what was brought to you. Door B is we figure out how much this costs and we're gonna have to make a request to take that money out of the capital reserve account to pay for those repairs. And then door C is you wait. Door C is you still spend money from C, A, P.
Yeah.
Just
And
give us a couple ambulances to choose from, or a couple, like, why should we? If, I'm not educated enough
Mhm.
to be able to read this and know.
Mhm.
Because I'm sure it's very different than buying a Subaru.
Right, what's gonna
Right,
give
that's
us
what I've got.
the best product for the amount of money we're spending.
And
or
if
potentially
we're looking at purchasing a new one, we're looking at perhaps resale in 2 years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So. So,
you know, one of the things that Martha hit on that has always been, you know, people in town have always been concerned about the miles we put on our ambulance. So I'm not actually concerned about the miles on 451 on the engine. I'm concerned about the miles and the chassis itself. Like, do I think that the motor's strong and could keep on going? Absolutely. But it's just, we're not doing transfers. We're not driving to Eustis. We're not driving to Bangor. We're not going to Boston. We're not, you know,
we did, and that did impact our vehicles and.
but we haven't been doing that for 2 years. You know what I mean? So. And we were compensated for those miles at $23 a mile or whatever our rate was at the time. So, I mean, it's,
So if you could get a report together, right, that says, okay, here's $120,000 option, here's fix 451 and do something else, and here's what's available for whatever you can find. Or, you know, and whatever you think would suit the department best, and then we would have those, you know, right, solid numbers, here it is.
Is there anything specific that you would like to see as far as chassis wise, or brand, or make model, or?
Bob's the only one in the room.
We have to have confidence in the professionals that work for the town.
I like the 4x4 trucks that we have now. They're
Mhm.
definitely rugged. They hold up better than the vans. I mean, that's the problem, right? 111,000 miles, that thing is beat up. You know, they just don't,
Suspension.
Oh, yeah.
they don't stand up. And I mean, you can feel it when you know, you go drive one of those versus one of these. It's a rugged vehicle versus something that's, yeah. Works great in the city, you know, yeah, but
And if you could look into what it looks like the weight is right now for a municipality that wants to buy a new ambulance. This is still 2 years.
Right.
What is that looking at? Because that may inform the decision on buying, fixing.
Right, because I'm like,
That's good for
right.
your.
because what I'm thinking is like, you know, say we did decide to go to the voters and ask that question, if they would approve it, we still have to do something in the meantime, and that's either putting money into that existing 451 or purchasing. The cheapest option I'm finding in the packet is 29,000, almost 30,000. So it's like, is that how much we would be spending on keeping 451 up and running until we get that new ambulance? Or are we spending less than that? And we should just keep, you know, would we be buying this one in the meantime, or would we continue to repair 451? It's just, yeah. I would appreciate more streamlined information from people who know more about this than I do. Yeah, yeah,
Get the idea out there.
yeah, absolutely. And I really do appreciate that, but yeah, I am a little lost swimming in all these listings and then considering just all the other options that we have to consider as well, so.
I'll work with Chief Black here. We'll, register your offer package for.
Yeah, I can call Keith too. I don't know why he's not calling you.
Go ahead.
All right,
Is it too much to ask for a quote on the current maintenance needs for 451?
I can get it for you. I didn't bring those on.
It's, yeah, but
He
I,
he didn't give you any body work information, did he? So you'll have to get that into a body shop. to get
Yeah, so I know every time you go to wash the truck, it bumps a rust ball up underneath it.
mhm,
So it's,
yeah,
yeah.
right, and but yeah, that would be a good like baseline information for
Yeah.
us to have so we can continue with this, making this decision. Right,
Right.
exactly.
so yeah, we try to get to a couple shops, see what they would think. We're probably gonna have to wait till unit two does come back,
Of course,
just so that way we can backline that one.
yeah, absolutely.
Might be- Hopefully we get it back in the next couple days.
Mhm,
But we'll, for us to.
okay,
See what we can.
thank you.
Well, thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ben.
No problem.
We appreciate the work you do.
Been a busy month.
It's, yeah.
Yeah. I think I have to make the motion to extend the meeting until we're close, what do we say?
Business is concluded.
Business is concluded.
Second.
All those in favor? All
Oh,
right, thank you. Yeah.
thank you,
Ben.
you
Thank you,
too.
Ben.
Personnel policy handbook amendment.
So I only included the page with the amendment on this one.
Mhm.
You remember when we were going through the budget process, one of the things that we had talked about was the town share of the health insurance
Yeah.
premiums.
Yep.
The budget passed with that proposal in there, but I can't change that until the personnel policies changed because it says 80%. So in your packet, I included that page and showed the new verbiage, which was directly from the proposed budget that I showed you all when we went through the budget process. So it's 90% employee individual only. It was 70%, I believe, yeah, 70% for an employee and children, and then the employee and family remained the same. That would be the same for if it was an employee and spouse, because the employee family and the employee spouse are the same price. So those are the recommended changes in the budget. That would be the verbiage that you would need to be able, for me to be able to implement that. Are you missing it?
So I move that we update personnel policy handbook to reflect the changes in benefits.
In our
Health insurance for the employees.
Sorry, I'm jumping out of Robert's rules.
Okay, we keep it real loose.
I'm sleepy.
I'll second that.
Further discussion? All those in favor, Bob, aye.
Celia, I.
Peter, I.
Sandra, I.
Committee appointments.
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint James Lowell to the road committee for a 2-year term.
I will say, go ahead.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, Bob, aye.
Celia, I.
Peter, I.
Sandra, I. I'd like to move that we appoint James Lowell to the social services committee for a 2-year term.
Oh.
Further discussion?
Thank you, James.
Thank you, James.
Yes, thanks, Steve. All those in favor, Bob, aye.
Celia, I.
Peter, I.
Sandra, I. And I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Marissa April to the planning board for a 1-year term.
I will second.
Further discussion?
Thank you, Marissa.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Marissa.
All those in favor, Bob, aye.
Celia, I.
Peter, I.
Sandra, I.
Now, we, leave the selectman resignation from, Heather Henley. We have to vote to accept that resignation. Um, obviously, we thank Heather for her service and appreciate everything she's done.
Mhm.
If this is what she feels is best, then we should honor that.
Yep.
Yes.
I will make the motion that we accept Selectman Heather Henley's resignation with regret.
I'll second.
Further discussion?
Thank you, Heather, for your service.
Yeah. All those in favor, Bob, aye.
Azalea, aye.
Peter, I.
Sandra, I.
And now we have to schedule a special town meeting and election for replacement.
Do we have to go all the way into October?
Yes. I need, they need that. Ideally, you'd want nomination papers out for 40 days and then your ballots have to be available in the timing. I basically gave you the soonest. That would allow us to meet all that. I mean, unless you want nomination papers to be out there for a shorter period of time, but based on the past elections that we've had, the number of people engaged, I think the more time or the maximum allowed is no more than 40 days. So
I'm just thinking there are other things perhaps for this special town meeting.
and if there's more things for it, then maybe there's that. It's good that it's in October because it'll give you guys time to come up with all the stuff that needs to go on it.
Well, isn't,
Because again, if we're gonna have multiple items on this election, ideally, we would be sending this out and having ballots printed up.
Yeah.
To do it, instead of, the same 3 people sitting in here till 6 in the morning or, midnight counting by hand.
and I hate to extend it, but is there elections in November already? This election year?
So no matter, I don't know if there was any in November.
You know what I mean?
No, there's, because we have to elect a new governor, right?
That's 2026.
Oh, yeah.
I was just, I don't want to extend it, but also. if
So
you
the
do it-
I
thing-
mean, that would be a minor extension if there was.
It's a minor extension. My only concern with that is when we do that, we need multiple sticks programmed and then everything has to be closed out and a new thing set up. And this is gonna be Alyssa's first, not local election, not the one we're talking about, but if there is one in November. So she's gonna be dealing
November
with
4th.
she's gonna be dealing with the state stuff on that day. And to throw all of that at her at once with no real,
Want to test her top?
I wanna keep the employees.
So what was the date that you,
It was what, a week before that?
Recommended October 28th. Election will be held November 4th.
I mean, is it doable? Yeah, I mean, you could extend it up to that date. I'd have
which would
to,
be easier, staff in this building?
nothing's easier. We don't wanna have 2 elections. We don't wanna have 1 election, but
Well, I think
I'm just-
they-
I'm
just to say,
concerned.
why?
Right, why are we having an election
2 things.
2 weeks in a row?
Agreed.
then my recommendation would be you do it on November and we do paper ballots and we count them by hand because the process of having to switch the voting machine over to another one is, I mean, I'm not gonna do that to her. But now it's gonna mean that, I don't know, I hadn't really given it much thought. I forgot about the election in November.
Can you,
And no matter who gets elected, they're gonna have to rerun again in 7 months. Actually, less than that. They basically become a selectman and then have to take out papers early in next year to run again, because that seat ends.
so why couldn't these be electronic ballots?
They can. We have 1 voting machine, so you have to have 2 sets of sticks programmed by the state or the election company, and then you run 1 election. And then once that election is done, you have to close out the machine. You have to load the second election. Then you have to feed all the ballots manually. And it's a process.
We did last time.
When we did the state and the town, yes, that's what we did. Because we only have 1 machine. But we also had at the time, I mean, Brittany had more elections underneath her, and, you know, she was familiar with the machine.
But we don't have to figure out right now whether it would be electronic ballots or paper ballots. That's not the
I mean,
decision.
it's not the end of the world. I just need to know when to have nomination papers ready. So whatever date you choose, I'll work backwards and figure that out. Or, I know it's not popular in town. Town wants 5 selectmen. You could wait until the next election in June. But I don't think that's favored amongst the townspeople. They want 5.
Right.
So let's,
I'm not
what is
even,
it, November?
and I'm not 100% sure that in Maine, there is a widespread election in November. Maybe you would be better at finding more solid answers on this, Cameron, but it looks like 2025 United States elections are often gubernatorial and state legislative elections in a few states. Is Jared Golden up in 2025 or is he 6?
I thought he was 6, but
That sounds right. to me.
they're
2026, I think, is the next main election.
Yeah, so this might even be like a non-problem for us.
A state of Maine referendum election where voters will decide on citizen initiatives and possibly of other referenda or constitutional amendment.
Okay. So it'll be like state legislative level.
So voter ID
That's right,
and
yeah.
firearm restrictions.
right.
So it may be a pretty busy election too.
That's gonna be a big one. 'Cause
Mhm.
So I mean, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's when you do want to have it, because you'll have more people here already.
And for some people, it's easier to have the option of coming at the time of day that's best for them rather than a specific time in the evening.
I'll figure out the logistics if that's what you want to do. That's
I'd like to
fine.
make a motion that we hold a special town meeting / election on November 4th, 2025.
I will second.
Any further discussion?
What's a second voting machine cost?
You can run them. It's quite a bit. It'd be cheap. It'd be cheaper just to order the ballots and then just go through the process. We'll figure it out. We'll see
Less
smart.
than an ambulance.
That's for sure.
All right, all those in favor, Bob, aye.
Azalea, aye.
Peter, I.
Sandra, I.
Other business?
So I have one piece of other business, Mount Whitney, a community member, sent an email to all select board members, asking that it be brought up at a select board meeting. So the information that I have is that there was a spill of less than a gallon of, what was it?
Hydraulic fluid.
Hydraulic fluid.
Yes, we only had to add.
Okay, so it's, it was less than a gallon of hydraulic fluid. This happened at the transfer station. The situation has been resolved. The, staff members have now know the protocol for alerting people to any kind of spill. The Public Works foreman is in communication with the DEP. We're doing everything that we should be doing. So I believe the situation has been resolved. And So if anybody were to have any further concerns, they could certainly reach out to any one of us and we will follow up.
Thank you. Any other business? And public comment, is Neil still on?
I don't think so. I think you left.
He fell off. Sorry.
You're fine.
Public comment? Nope. All right, so I'll make a motion that we adjourn at 8:57 PM.
I will second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yeehaw.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.